All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to another session of Champions Office Hours featuring the DS Solutions app. Thanks so much for taking time out of your day to join us. Hopefully, you have at least heard about this fantastic tool, but even if you haven't, this is definitely time well spent. Be prepared to learn how you can search units, configure calculators, register product, access field reference guides, warranty information, parts lists, all while in the field out on the job. A few things before we get started. We will open it up for questions at the end, but if you have something you need to ask before that time, please feel free to unmute yourself, raise your hand, type a question in the chat. We'd be happy to answer those. And if you have questions after the session, of course, you're always more than welcome to reach out to your RAM or myself, and we can answer those questions or go through any processes with you. This session is being recorded and will be made available in the office hours sessions QR code and link later this week. Now, will you please join me in welcoming our subject matter expert, mastermind behind the DS Solutions app, Ketan Namjoshi, JCI Ducted Systems Product Management.
Hey, good morning, Robin. Good morning, team. Thanks for having me, Robin, and thanks for everybody for joining the call here. So I'm going to be going over a couple of slides on the DS Solutions app, and walking you through what features we have, what the app is all about. To those of you who are not familiar with the app, and then we'll actually dive into the app itself. I hope everybody on this call has access to the app. But we'll go into the app, play around, and I can show you some features we have within the app. So it's also good, quick visual for everybody here on the call. So with that, and then feel free to interrupt me, or if you have any questions, as Robin mentioned, you can use the chat, or you can just raise your hand, and we can keep this interactive as we go along. So with that, I'll start sharing my screen here. I'll just go off camera because I'll be switching between different modes here. So let me just do that. All right, could somebody confirm they can see my screen, Robin?
Yes,
Okay,
perfect.
all right. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the DS Solutions app, the full name of what you would be able to search within the App Store is the Ducted System Solutions app. We have this app available within the Apple iOS store or even on the Android store. It's available for both your mobile phone as well as your tablets or iPads. So it's designed for contractors. That's the persona we have in mind. We want to make it very easy for our contractors and technicians to install our products, to get all the unit information that's available out there within our JCI systems, available for that contractor quite quickly and easily at their fingertips, right? So some of the things that we've highlighted here, there's a lot more that we have in the app, but some key features, they'd be able to search for literature. There's startup sheets, and we'll look at those later here, but there's parts list. They can look at the warranty status. There's going to be ratings for commercial, there's controls files, and product registration, right? Today, they require a Navigator login for credentials to get access to the app, but in future, we are going to be changing that and allowing for some guest access. But today, you do require a Navigator login, so you could work with your RAMs to get access to Solution Navigator and to share that with your customers as well so that they can use all the features within the app. This tool is available for both commercial and our residential products. So anything that gets manufactured in Norman or our Wichita CNA facility is supported by the app. It's an app that we are working on currently on expanding it and adding more features. Some of that we'll be showcasing here today on this call, but this is all designed and to to help our contractors with a simpler install and to reduce their time on the job site, right? Because one of the feedback that we received as part of ease of doing business was that contractors want to spend less time and less touch points to having to get into information, right? So even if we have our information in maybe 3 or 4 different places, they would like to have it available at just one location so that it's easy for them. They don't have to make a couple of phone calls to the tech services team or to somebody else. So we've tried to resolve that issue by having all of this information available and consolidating that within this mobile application here, right? So one of the feature I wanted to talk to the team about is additional labor warranty, and it's actually a promotional labor warranty that we offer on our commercial units today. We started this program in January of this year, and what this enables is for contractors to be eligible for either 3 months or 6 months of additional labor warranty on our 3.5 to 25 ton products, which is Core, Pro, Small Sunline, Choice, Select, and Splits. But if you go to Premier, which is a larger product platform, you actually get 6 months to 1 year of additional labor warranty. To be eligible for these additional labor warranties, they have to go through an online course, which is like a 30 to 45-minute online course that's available within the app, or they can look at it within Navigator, but that's what they have to do, and they have to submit the startup sheet using the app. So if they do that, they are eligible for 3 months of additional labor warranty. But if you go through the in-person certification that's offered at our Ducted Systems Academy here in Norman, Oklahoma, and they submit the startup sheets using the app, they are eligible for 6 months of additional labor warranty. We believe this is a key differentiator for us with our compared to our competition. So I think that's something you could share with your customers and promote it because it's a short course to be eligible for 3 months of additional labor warranty. All right, so the next feature I wanted to highlight here is the registered products. So we are changing the look and feel of how we're doing registered products today within the app. So today, this information is available when technicians complete a startup sheet and they see which products are getting registered. But in future, what we are doing is redesigning the look and feel of this page. We are going to add some more information and also include what the additional labor warranty status is. So if they have in fact, receive the 3 months or 6 months of additional labor warranty, we are going to automate that process from within the app itself. So in future, they don't have to reach out to like a warranty team or to their sales teams to process this additional labor warranty that we are offering, right? So we are making it more intuitive and less touch points, having it all to be part of the single app here.
So you'll be able to do all of that through that app, correct?
Yes, correct, Robin. Yes.
Very good.
Yeah. So as technicians submit startup sheets today, they would like to share it with somebody at their company or their customers. So what we have today within the app is when you go through a startup sheet and you submit the startup sheet, it automatically registers the product for warranty. And we have startup sheets available for both commercial and residential. So what we heard from our customers is that they wanted a copy to be sent to the company that does the startup or the company that sold that product, right? So in this case, if Wind Supply distributor does sell the product, then they want to retain a copy of the startup sheet for any technician that does a startup on any of their products, right? So what we are doing is we are enabling this feature with the Navigator team. So in future, when a technician submits a startup sheet, the sold to company and the startup company both automatically will receive a copy of the PDF of the startup sheet, right? So in future, they don't have to send it via email or send it through the app. Today, it's available via the app, but you have to get into the app to send it to somebody on your team or to send it to the company that you work for. But in future, we are going to automate this again as part of the app. It will automatically send a copy to the sold to or the startup company that's done the startup for this product. All right. So this is something we've recently released. As you probably are already familiar, have gone through trainings on the A2L products, the R454B transition that's happening on our commercial and residential products. There are going to be use cases or situations or applications where you will have to find out if there is an RDS requirement on our products. Today, our residential products will have RDS, but some of our commercial products will not have an RDS that's factory installed from our facility. So there would be times when contractors and technicians will have to find out where if they require an RDS on the unit. So we have come up with this calculator, and we'll take a look at it again as part of our demo here. But it's a quick, simple calculator. You just have to enter a couple of key parameters, like the length, width, the duct discharge height, and it will tell you whether you require an RDS on that particular unit or not. There are also some cases where you would require an RDS, and also there would be a need for additional ventilation or exhaust. So this calculator, does all of that. It will tell you and also generate a report at the end. So you can send it to the inspector or you can send it to your customer, from the app itself. Right. Again, there are a lot of equations that were part of the UL standard. We've simplified those, made it easier for the contractor to install the product by just bundling all of them into this simple calculator that's part of the app, so that you can figure out, if you need an RDS or not, or if there are any additional requirements for mitigation that need to be met. Dip switch setup. So we have dip switch setup as part of the app today, and this is applicable for our residential air handlers. So today, what we saw with our contractors is that, for them to set up a dip switch on our air handler, they have to at times go through an install manual or they have to watch a couple of videos. We wanted to reduce the time of install that they do today, right? So that they have to go through today. So what we did was we came up with a couple of steps, intuitive steps within the app itself, where they can set up these dip switches. They don't have to necessarily go through a video or look at an install manual for this. They can just review these steps, and it's walkthrough, so you can go from one configuration to the other. As you can see here on the first screenshot, there are 4 different banks that are available that are part of the product today. So you have to set those dip switches up. So that's part of this tool today. You can easily do that and not have to spend too much time on the job site for these to be configured. All right, DS Academy TV, so which is what we internally call as our YouTube for contractors. So we have published a lot of good content here for our contractors to install products. There are a lot of troubleshooting videos, a lot of great content. If you haven't seen this, is part of our Navigator platform today. But what we did was we also embedded this within the DS Solutions app. Again, trying to simplify things for our contractors so that they don't have to go to different places to access the information. And also, if they have some time available, at the job site, if they're waiting on some things, sitting in the truck, they can pull up this DS Academy TV, go through a couple of videos, on ad hoc basis as needed, right? So this is something we have available now. We've released it. It's part of the app. It's a single sign-on, so you don't need to even, make a note of what your password is for a different system, right? So it's all part of the app. It's a homogeneous experience. So just wanted to highlight that that it's available now. So a quick summary on what else we have available. We will touch upon a few of these things here as we go through the actual demo within the app. But for a quick look here, we talked about a guest login. That would be something that we'll be coming out with in the near future here. So how does the app work today? It works using the QR code that's on all of our products, commercial, residential. So a contractor can scan the QR code and it will give you all unit specific information. There's also model number search that's available, but we recommend the QR code because we can accurately show information based on the serial number more than the model number, because just based on when the unit was manufactured, some of the things might change. So we recommend using the serial number as a basis for search. We'll walk through some of these other things as part of the demo, so I'll not get into much of these items, but just wanted to quickly cover what's available within the app in terms of our features. All right, so before we get into the demo, I just thought I'll include some quick screenshots of what's coming in the next calendar year. So as I talked about, guest access, we are going to be implementing this. So any user would be able to get into the app and they'll be able to see certain or limited content. But that's something we are going to be releasing here in the next calendar year. We are also working on a way for contractors to get full access. And by full access, we mean access to our Navigator portal, right? And that's something we heard from our contractors, that they have to today at times reach out to their sales team members to get access to Navigator. We are going to, again, try to reduce the time it takes for them to get access to Navigator by implementing this from within the app itself. So that's coming here in the next calendar year. We are also releasing an RTO replacement lookup tool. So we have a tool available today. I don't know if some of you might be already familiar with it. It's called the CDR app that we have today, but we are going to be integrating that as part of the DS Solutions app. What this tool allows you to do is to look at any of the existing units. They may be JCI units or with a competitor brand. You can enter those details within this tool, and it will show you what an equivalent JCI product we have available. And this is only for our commercial products. This is not for residential, but this is something we are going to be releasing here in the near future. Piping configurator. So contractors require, they have the need to do pipe sizing for residential split systems. So we are going to be implementing a piping tool within the app itself. So, within a couple of steps, you'll be able to determine what type of line size you require, what is the additional charge that you need to be including as part of the system charge. So that's something we are going to be implementing. It's, again, going to be both for R410A, some of the legacy systems out there, and then also for the new R454B units as well. Some other key highlights, we are going to go to a branded version of the app where, all our UI and our skins for the app are going to be based on the brand. So for Champion, we will have this look and feel. We have Bluetooth today on our commercial products, so we are going to be integrating that as part of the DS Solutions app. Today, Bluetooth for commercial products is on a different app, but we are going to be integrating that as part of the DS Solutions app. So just, one app experience for all of our contractors interfacing with all Ducted Systems products, which is both our commercial and residential products, right? So we are going to come up with this new look and feel. So you're going to see some changes here in the next calendar year, but I just thought I'd bring that up since we are going to be connecting here today. So I'll switch over to giving a quick demo here. Just give me a minute here. I'll switch my screens. Do we have any questions so far? Sorry, I'm not able to see my chat here.
No, there's nothing in the chat.
Okay. All right, can you hear me and see my phone screen here? Can someone?
Yes,
Okay, all right,
looks great.
Okay, thanks, Will. All right, so team, after you log into the app, this is our homepage today. So at the top here, you have what we call as our marketing banners. So you can flip through those banners and see what our latest news articles are. There are some marketing updates we publish here occasionally as part of the new things that we are working on or what items we're releasing, products we're releasing. I'll start from the top here. Unit search, so that's where you can either manually enter a serial number or you can scan a QR code or barcode. Today, I'll just do a manual serial number search. But I'll go back here. I want to cover some of the other things here on this screen. So find a distributor that does allow contractor or the technician to see the nearby distributors. It's available based on a zip code search. Product registration, so they can register products today, both commercial or residential products. This is a standalone tool, so we have this capability also integrated along with our startup sheets, but they could also just use this as a standalone tool, and this data is synced with our warranty system. So this is an updated version here, so they can take benefit of this. Field reference guides, I'll not get into that today here because we have some of the other things to cover, but those are available from the app itself. Today, it's not a single sign-on, but we are working on having that as a single sign-on here by the end of this calendar year. We should have that as single sign-on. DS Academy TV. So as I mentioned that earlier, that's our internal, what we call as our YouTube for contractors and technicians. So as you can see here, there's a lot of good content, both commercial, residential products. There's HVAC fundamentals. So somebody who's new to your team and wants to understand what, HVAC has. So it's also got some good videos for newcomers in this field, right? So, and then there's A2L, there's some videos on the DS app itself, right? So we have some FAQs here on the app itself. If there are any questions as you're going through the app, we have this updated, so you can also search by particular text. But this is also a good walkthrough for information on what each feature has. All right, so I think we can get into unit search. So we look at a residential unit here, click on find, and you can enter the serial number in capitals or small case letters. It does work in both cases. Once you are into the app, you can look at the product home at the top there. It still retains the model number and serial number. So based on the serial number, we can tell what model number it is. So we do have that information handy at all times. You can mark certain menus as your favorites. What I have here are the unit nomenclature and product information are my favorites. I'll go into unit nomenclature. So this comes pretty handy for a contractor, who's not familiar with our nomenclature, or somebody who wants to understand what features are there on this product. So this does a breakdown. It's more handy on commercial products where the nomenclatures are 18 digits or 49 digits in length, right? So this does a quick breakdown of what every digit stands for, what every option on the product stands for. Product information, we have a quick summary of what the product is. So just in case somebody wants to look at it real quick, we have this feature available. I'll go into the basic tile. So we covered product information, unit nomenclature. We have startup sheet sections. I'll do a quick example later on, but we have that available for both commercial and residential products. We also have critical reading sheets. Just click on that here. So critical reading sheets is mainly used on our residential products in case there is an issue with the product. Our tech services team will request you to fill out a critical reading sheet and share it with them so that they can diagnose the issue. So we have embedded that within the app today. They have to manually do that, but with this app, it's more convenient and easy. All of the information that you submit through the app, either startup sheets or critical reading sheets, that's retained within the app itself, but also we have a backend repository where our tech services team can look at it at any point of time, and So even if the issue comes up sometime later, that's available within the app for them to look at it. Find a repair part. So this is good information for contractors if they have to look at for some replacement parts. So we have a couple of views for them. They can do either using the flat view here, or they can do a sectional view. So we have broken up the parts list based on the section. So compressor, electrical, there's motor and other different sections here. So upload and download, that's another feature that we have where contractors can upload information if they want to save it for somebody to look at later. So a good use case might be, I'm a technician, I've noticed some things on the unit. I want to save it for somebody else who might come at a later time. I can use this feature and upload the information, which can be viewed by the technician later, or it can be viewed by anybody who searches for that particular serial number in future. Unit contact, so this does have information. So it looks like, this information was, this product was sold out of Colorado, so we have that information. We also have tech services information for this product. All right, I'll get into literature here. So I'll not dive into tech guide installation manual because, they speak for themselves there. The wiring drawings, so again, we have that available for contractors to look at. A lot of times what we heard is, the wiring drawings on the product might get erased off over time, but so we have this available within the app so they can, look at it at all times, also on our older equipment. So that's also supported as well. There's warranty information, so they can check for warranty, check for warranty status on an existing product before they work on it. They can, again, we have this feature here again, the product registration, but they can also look at warranty claims. So any claims that have been submitted in the past, they can view that as part of the app here. We are working on adding some more information on warranty, such as product tracking, extended warranty claims. Those pieces are being worked on currently, and those will be available here in the near future. So as I mentioned earlier, there are a lot of exciting updates that we are working on, and we'll be releasing it here in the next calendar year. All right, so I'll look at a commercial unit on, what is the information available for it. A lot of things remain the same for commercial products as well. So there's unit nomenclature, product information. So on commercial, as I mentioned earlier, the nomenclature string does become a little longer. And so it's much easier here. Now you can see what every digit stands for as part of the nomenclature. Some other items I'd like to highlight here, features. So we have controls information on commercial products. A lot of times what we've heard is contractors want to have access to, the controls file. So in case they have to reboot the controller in future, they can do that without having to reach out to our tech services team. So we did include that. So, these are the factory control files. They can also use the firmware files that are available here for uploading it and rebooting our controller. Most of the other things remain the same. There is a cert tool here on commercial products. I'll just quickly go over it here. So what the cert tool does is on our commercial products, since it has a lengthy menu tree, it lets you find out where every menu is available within the menu tree. It also allows you to make changes to the menu. Like, for example, on a commercial product, let's just say you have a single zone VAV system and you want to change it to a multi-zone VAV system. You can make those changes using the cert tool. You can make those changes to the CSV file and then put it back into the control board using a USB drive. So that's what the cert tool does today. We are working on coming out with a video specific to the cert tool that would be made part of, be available within the DS Academy TV here in the coming months. Right. All right. So let me get into calculators here. So There are some quick conversion tools available, like temperature, pressure, something that would come in handy for the contractor on the job site. There is superheat and subcool, right? Like we know how valuable this information is for contractors when they're working on a product. We have this available both for R410A and R454B, so they can enter this information. They can calculate, what their superheat and subcool values are. All right, I'll spend some more time on the RDS calculator here, which is a new feature we released as part of the A2A transition. We have a patent that we filed for this. It's currently pending. Again, as I mentioned earlier, we have simplified all the equations that are part of the UL standard and made it easier for our contractors to install the product. So I'll enter some dummy information as we go through. Let's call it an airport. This is the unit manufactured by JCI. Yes. So I'll just use a product line today for an example. We could also do a serial number search. We are working on releasing some further updates to this tool. So let me pick a residential split system. So today, all of our residential split systems will have an RDS, so it automatically does populate that. But let me just say this is a heat pump system. I'll just say this is a 5-pound charge. I'm just using some dummy data for now. Just let me click on next here. Let me say the length for the application here is 6 feet by 6 feet, and the duct discharge height, let me say it's 8 feet. We have included a quick snippet here on what each of these values refer to. So again, it's easier for the contractor to understand, what we mean by duct discharge height, what is the length and width that we're looking for. Also, this has to be only for the the lowest area in the house here, so which would be this section at the bottom. And then you can click on calculate. So this already has an RDS installed from the factory for our equipment, but it also tells you that there is a required for continuous ventilation or exhaust. So we wanted to also educate, our contractors as they're going through the process. So we tried to include some reasons so they can understand, why for this particular application an RDS is required along with some additional exhaust, which may not be the case for some other application that they're working on. So we've tried to include some reasons behind the calculation. We also have embedded a link for our A2L compliance white paper. It's a nice white paper that our team has published. So if some of you haven't seen that, I would suggest, highly recommend that you can take a look at it. It does include some nice information, good information, and it also has some flow charts so that you can easily understand what are the times you require RDS and not, and some of the other rules around A2L requirements, right? So it also does generate a report. So I'll click on create a report here. So you can see all the information did get captured here. And I can send this report out to somebody on my team. You can email it from the app, or you can email it, just as a standalone PDF. So the tool also works for commercial products. So let's do a commercial product. For example, let me pick a Pro. Some of our products already have RDS already installed. So I'll just change this to, let's just say, an 8-pound charge, some dummy value. So it gives you an option whether you want to do single zone or multi-zone. Let's just say you want to do a single zone. So you would, again, just have to enter the application dimensions here. So I did a very small room here. It would kind of be like a closet, but it does require an additional exhaust. Additional ventilation is required. We have also included capability for multi-zone units. So if you have more than one zone, right, so you can either calculate if you already have the calculations for what the dimensions are for the lowest level of the application. You can either enter those, or you can take help from the tool here to calculate that. So let me do that for this demo here. Sorry. Yeah. So let's say you don't know what the different dimensions are for each zone that that unit is serving. So you can start typing in every zone information here. So let's just say this is my first zone, 10, 10, 8. And I say there are like about 3 additional zones. So I can just, increase the number here at the bottom and just say these are all the 3 zones, right? And let's say I have a 4th zone that's a little different. So I just say that's my 4th zone. So the calculator will automatically do all the calculations behind the scenes once you enter these, and then you can just hit calculate. Right, so then it did calculate what the smallest zone area on the lowest floor was. Since we had 10 by 10, this is 100 square feet. But it does tell you what's the minimum remediation airflow. There's only supply airflow that's required in this particular example. There's no additional ventilation requirement because the charge was too small. But since this was just a demo here, the actual scenarios, the charge might be higher, the rooms might be much smaller, or there would be less zones comparatively, right? So any questions on the tool here? I know I've gone through it real quick here, but any questions or things you want me to highlight further? Okay.
I don't see any questions in the chat, but if anybody wants to unmute or put a question in the chat.
Okay. All right, so then I think I'll go through a quick startup sheet here. Let me just change my app version here. All right, so if you come into the startup sheet section today, it looks the same for both commercial and residential products. I have started one here for a commercial product. So for commercial, you can select between if the startup today is going to be like a full startup or what we call as a partial startup, right? Because you may not do a startup on the heating section, during the summer months, right? So we do have that capability within the app where you can choose whether it's a full startup or a partial startup. Then you would have to just enter all the information, the job site information, who's the technician that's submitting the startup sheet, the installation address, the owner address, there's elevation information. Again, that's part of some calculations within the startup sheets, and it's also something that we retain within the app for somebody in future who's visiting that job site, right? Once you hit on save, there are a few pages. So the first page we have for commercial products is like an accessory page where they can start with just answering what accessories are part of the product. So we have a lot of pick list options available that they can choose from for field installed accessories. I can click on next here. So if you notice on the top there under the startup sections where it says unit inspection, there is a scroll. I'll scroll to the right here. So there are different sections within startup sheet. The first one that we are looking at right now is just the unit inspection section. But after a technician goes through unit inspection, there are a couple of additional sections, like the pre-operation, indoor airflow, there's ventilation, there's cooling, heat section, and then finally control parameters, right? One thing I want to highlight here that's, we've worked on it and made it easier for the contractor is we have included logic behind the startup sheet. So all the questions that you see here are based on the model number. So if the model number is, let's just say it's a cooling only unit, so the heating section will not appear, or the technician can skip through that. Even a lot of questions within the unit inspection or even pre-operation, right? They would not appear if it's not put into that particular product, right? So again, just made it simpler, easier for the contractor, not having to skip manually or have to figure out whether is this question applicable for this product, those kind of things, right? So I'll just scroll through here. You can see a lot of yes, no type of questions that they can quickly populate. There are some automatic warnings that we have embedded within the app. So like, for example, on this question, confirm the suspected indication is leaking refrigerant, right? So is there a leak? If I say yes, the app will not let me move further. It will ask me to make sure that the leak is corrected. So we have embedded some additional logic also as part of the startup sheet, which acts as warning or some caution for the technician if they enter values that are out of range, right? So like, for example, even if on the voltage I say no, the value here, right, is not within this range, it will stop me from proceeding further, right? And this voltage range here will change both commercial, residential, depending on what type of unit that is. So in this particular example, this is a 230-volt system. So that's the range that's shown for the 230-volt system, right? So I'll just click on next here. I'll just show you some of the key sections here. I'll have to enter all of these. It will not let me proceed until I enter those. So, but I just wanted to give the team here, a quick view of what we have within the startup sheets, right? So there are a couple of additional sections, that they have to go through, again, depending on whether it's applicable for the product. After they go to control parameters here, they can upload the CSV file. So we retain a copy of the CSV file. And once they submit the startup sheet, it's going to be applicable. It will automatically register it with our product registration system, right? So the warranty is automatically registered on that unit. Similarly, we can look at a residential product here real quick. Let me go back here. Sorry. So I have entered some of this information already, but let's just say a technician can also do a new startup after somebody has already done a startup, right? So if there is some issue on the system and somebody wants to come back and do a second startup, it doesn't happen often, right? But we have this capability. So I'll just do a new startup on this unit so you can see. Just say this is test. So they can pick what product they are matching that residential split system to. Like in this case, used air handler with an outdoor heat pump, but you can pick all of these different options. You can enter the serial numbers for the other product. It could be the outdoor or the indoor product. There are some quick reference guides also available as part of the startup sheet. So under unit configuration here, right, a technician may have a question on what does upflow versus downflow or horizontal left or horizontal right mean. So we have these guides within the startup sheet. So it does tell you what each of those configurations are for, or what they look like, right? So they can enter all of this information. They can click on next. Again, pretty intuitive, easy to follow. We've done a lot of usability testing with our customers. We have also done some usability testing with our internal tech services team, but similar kind of process. You have electrical, you have gas heat, electric heat, venting, this blower setup, heating blower setup. defrost control, so a couple of different sections. You don't have to go through all of these different sections, depending on, it's on the type of product that you're working on. So some of them may be applicable, some you can just skip past. And at the end, after you go through the owner education, you can submit the startup sheet, and it will automatically register the product for warranty. Right? I think that's all I had, Robin. Yep. Any questions, team, or any feedback? Any thoughts?
Keaton, this is Randy. I saw that little checkbox there if they were a CCE dealer or not.
Correct.
If that was a CCE installation, does that startup then go to tech service?
Yes, Randy, yes. All of these startups do go to tech services. Yes, but that also does, yes.
Okay. And when do you anticipate the Bluetooth to come to residential? You mentioned that.
That's the one that I mentioned is only for commercial, Randy. We haven't had any discussions yet on the residential.
Okay.
Yeah.
To come.
Great job.
Thanks, Randy. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Are you going to send this presentation out to everyone then, Robin?
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. See, I told you it was time well spent. If not all of you, most, if not all of you, have access to Solution Navigator, which means you have the credentials available to access the DS Solutions app. So please review the flyer that I sent out for this session. It has those QR codes to add that app to your phone. Again, the recording to this meeting will be made available on the QR code here shortly. So please be sure to share it with your dealers and contractors because they can have access as well. And this would be such a helpful tool for them. If you need access to Solution Navigator or you need help granting access to your dealers or contractors, reach out to your RAM or myself and we can help you get that access for you. I want to thank everybody for your time today. We really appreciate you being here. We're glad you came, especially Ketan for his presentation. Spot on, amazing. Please reach out if you think of any questions or if you have suggestions or recommendations on future sessions, let us know that too. So with that, thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Robin. Thank you.